An opening day attraction at Walt Disney World's Disney's Animal Kingdom Park has closed, and fans, desperate for any keepsake related to said attraction, may have taken home mementos that they weren't supposed to. In this case, special 3D glasses that were custom made for this theater experience had been brought back for the remaining of its run before being reimagined into a Zootopia experience. But the glasses that were there, well, you might recognize them from another theater experience in an entirely different park on Walt Disney World property, one that's also going away soon. Let's talk about the closure of It's Tough to Be a Bug and eBay sellers selling pilfered 3D bug eye glasses here on That Park Place.
We are saying goodbye to an opening day attraction here on That Park Place. It's not often that we do that, but inevitability says that the longer this channel goes on, the more often it will happen until there's no more opening day attractions left. It's Tough to Be a Bug is now closed at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and the entrance marquee has been removed. Vash, did you ever get a chance to see this in person?
Oh, yes. I actually saw the Animal Kingdom version of it twice. Once on my very most recent visit, which is back in the summer of 2023, and also two back in the summer of 2000 as well. But I most got to see it at Disney California Adventure. Yes, Paul Pressler was very much like, hey, you know what? We're going to make a new park right here. It's going to be brand new, but feature some old classics that you may have seen from parks around the world, because we're too cheap to develop anything new for this park. That included MuppetVision 3D, interestingly enough, and also too, It's Tough to Be a Bug. Now this is kind of cool that how they did this, because I believe they brought back the original bug eyes for that limited run right there, right before this thing closed. Which, by the way, if people aren't familiar, they have they get special 3D glasses made just for this specific production back in the day, and they phased those out for more generic looking 3D glasses that you would see maybe at MuppetVision 3D, but they actually brought them back for this. I thought that was pretty cool. Sad to see this one go right here, because I think this show actually held up fairly well. Definitely needing to refresh the last time I saw it at Animal Kingdom, but well, now we know why they didn't invest much money into it.
Yeah, well, I was there in the first year that Animal Kingdom was open. I was blessed to go into this bizarre park that was meant to compete with Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. Was Disney ever that young? Sometimes you have to wonder. Back when they considered regional parks to be the competition here, of course, Adventure Island over there in the Tampa area being a competitor, other water parks being a competitor, SeaWorld being a competitor. Not much sea stuff here, but they did have some sea stuff at Epcot, not on the level of SeaWorld. Cypress Gardens was on that list of competitors at one point, which is, of course, now Legoland, Florida. But It's Tough to Be a Bug. I would say that it was a better attraction than Bug's Life was a movie. I know. It's spicy to go after that early Pixar stuff, but let's go to the article itself. This out of WDW Magic by WDW Magic staff. Perhaps it will enchant us. It's Tough to Be a Bug has now permanently closed at Disney's Animal Kingdom following its final performance on March 17th, 2025, as work begins to prepare the Tree of Life Theater for its upcoming Zootopia Better Zoogether attraction. Several noticeable changes have already taken place. Please don't tell me they're putting these Zootopia animals on the outside of the Tree of Life. The entrance marquee is gone. Did I just hurt you a little bit there, Vash, by saying that?
Look, Jonas, you know what I'm going through? I'm already hurt. That just hurt me right in the feels.
I'm sorry to hear that. It's a beautiful thing, the Tree of Life out there. It is. For those of you who have not been to Animal Kingdom, the Tree of Life is made up of individual from the outside, it looks like, I would say, a baobab tree. But the closer you get, the more you see that it's individual, beautiful carvings of different animals. They're very Disney and quite pretty, and it's part of the queue. So as you're going into the theater, you see this. Obviously, Better Zoogether. That's going to be a mouthful. Better Together, whatever. Let's just say Better Together is going to be a different kind of animal, as Joe Rohde would describe them. Animals with pants are not the same as animals. Here we go. It's tough to be a bug as of last week. While the former entrance remains accessible, guests can now only use it to explore the Tree of Life Gardens. Entry into the theater queue is blocked by a small construction wall. A look down into the queue area there. There's somebody locking up the fake doors. And yeah, and the signage has been removed here. And we have seen some early concept art for what's going to be going in there. It's kind of difficult to it's difficult to know exactly what's been released publicly, but one of my least favorite Imagineers ever described this as, it's going to be great. It's going to be like a Taylor Swift kind of show inside of the Tree of Life Theater. There's going to be a giant Clawhauser, hopefully not wearing that ridiculous costume. I think it's a cop costume, by the way.
I think so.
Instead of this one up in that. Sounds like it will have 3D glasses. Carrot Vision 3D. Well, I guess that's if that's the best name they can come up with, that's fine. And then it'll be a show put on by Giselle, hopefully not Girlzelle, inside of the Tree of Life Theater. So I guess it is time to say goodbye to an original attraction here. That Hopper animatronic was amazing. The Clawhauser animatronic looks fine. Disney World is not a museum.
Oh, I wish it was. No, Clawhauser. I think they're doing the same. They're bringing the same Clawhauser that they designed for the Shanghai version of the Zootopia land, specifically that kind of e-ticket attraction that you experience Clawhauser in the pre-show, that attraction. So I think it's like a duplicate of that, and that's how they can incorporate this. So great, more hand-me-downs. But this kind of ends a particularly really interesting time for the Walt Disney Company, because remember, at that time in like the late 90s, their original films and original characters weren't doing all that well, and they really need to imbue new life into their parks, and obviously, they were spending less money on the parks following the Disneyland Paris fiasco and so forth. So what they do, they brought out the Pixar library in a big way. I know John Lasseter, I believe, personally contributed to the creation of It's Tough to Be a Bug right there. Obviously, it's Bug's Life wasn't super successful, but like you said, Jonas, kind of outlived the run of that original film, and that kind of started or was part of this chain of imbuing as much Pixar product in the parks as possible. Which, by the way, 1999, that would have been, 7 years or so before Disney actually acquired Pixar. And that was actually one of the reasons why Pixar was acquired in the fashion that it was, because it would have been hard to strip a Pixar IP from their existing parks right there. So it was like, okay, let's go ahead and bring them into the fold. As Bob Iger says, he was on what is it? He was watching the Hong Kong parade go by, and he saw that the Pixar characters were more relevant in the eyes of the Chinese guests there than their Disney characters. So this is kind of the end officially of that kind of really interesting era right before Disney actually acquired Pixar, and where John Lasseter was maybe closely associated with these type of experiences. Here they're describing what a Taylor Swift-like concert, I believe, is the quote that we heard right there. We'll have to see how this goes. I'm not expecting much.
Right, and that Taylor Swift comment was from the same person who called the Encanto stage out there at Epcot the Beyonce stage. So, yikes. I like my Imagineers to be dorks. I don't like them to be, dorks because they know they're dorks, not dorks because they are into the trends. Now it is interesting. You did mention the fact that those 3D glasses, that they restored the 3D glasses for the final run here. Well, according to WDWNT, it looks like those are already available on eBay. I wonder if I can get myself a pair. Maybe I know someone in the Orlando area who can get me some here. But resellers are already putting MuppetVision and It's Tough to Be a Bug glasses on eBay. $63.
Whoa!
Yikes.
Should have grabbed some.
Maybe I'm not that interested in it.
Oh man, Bug Eyes, man! I tell you, I did not know they were so valuable when Flick was talking about them up there embedded in the ceiling. But Now I know. My goodness gracious, this is really something. It reminds me of the spork incident that happened with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Remember that whole spork incident, Jonas, where they put out these custom sporks and people kept stealing them and putting them on eBay and stuff, kind of like that.
Yeah, I do remember that. And the original Arabesh menus and even the napkins were being stolen and put on eBay. I never engaged in the purchase of any of those items here. It's interesting. While unfortunate, it has become a somewhat common occurrence for resellers looking to capitalize on the closure of a Disney attraction to begin selling items taken from the parks, with MuppetVision 3D in Disney Hollywood Studios set to close on June 7th, and It's Tough to Be a Bug, which performed the last time on March 16th in Disney Animal Kingdom's now closed. Both attractions are now garnering the attention of resellers. I'm just going to point out the attraction is closed, so these are officially in the memorabilia section. Although MuppetVision 3D, they still need those. Also, I would not be surprised if people that are close to the parks and go into the parks on a regular basis might have accidentally walked off with one of these. Maybe when I was little, someone in my family happened to leave the park with one of those plastic balls that's in the ball pit on Space Mountain.
Oh, okay. Well,
You didn't try to sell it, though, I will say.
Maybe Disney can actually sell the pairs that they have in storage themselves and actually bankroll some new glasses for Pandora's Flight of Passage, which desperately needs a new batch of glasses because it's so foggy.
I knew
it
those
blurs the film.
Yeah, this is of course, like, it's tragic, but at the same time, hey, there's one starting bids at $1 for that pair right there. I get it why people do stuff like this. I do have a treasured piece of memorabilia that's historical memorabilia that someone should not have put on eBay, but I bought it and I gave it to a family member. It wasn't a piece of Disney memorabilia, but I'm of two minds about people reselling stuff like this. If it's of historical significance, well, maybe this causes people to preserve it for longer, the capitalistic aspect of it. But if it's theft, then no, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Don't be part of the spork incident or whatever.
At least go to one of the cast members and say, hey, if I walk off with these, will I get in trouble, or what's going to happen with these? And let the team members be the one to be like, just don't say anything to me here. Anyways, best of luck to everyone trying to watch 3D at home.
Exactly.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.